So we've built up PiStorm, we've installed it, and we've got Caffeine all set up now, and we've messed around with everything. So I thought now should be time to just have a little bit of a play with the software we put on it now, and just the capabilities that the PiStorm and Caffeine gives us. So let's get going then. We're on. Right, so this is our new desktop now, our Caffeine desktop, which is basically the Directory Opus Workbench replacement. Now, one thing I didn't try last time after I first got Caffeine installed was this. This is the compact flash card reader. So it's basically like using a memory stick. You can connect that up to your PC with a card reader. Well, connect that up to your PC with a card reader. Put it in there, and then it just goes into the slot on the side of the computer. Just goes. So that's just going in there. So I'll push that in, and there we go. It pops up and it opens up. So we can still use this as we always did on the regular Amiga setup. Now, one thing with Caffeine, because it's basically using Directory Opus rather than your Workbench, you might want to know how to get the icons to show up, because some of these WHD load games or items in general won't launch unless you do it from the proper icon. So it's just up on the listers menu, view as, and then icon, and there we go. That's a bit of a mess, but we can always clean them up like that. So yeah, we can still put our PCIe CIA card in, and we can still just run content that way and transfer content that way, and it will run straight off of here just like it used to. Right, as we've seen before in some of the setup for this, using Caffeine, you basically need two screens or two inputs. So I've got a SCART connection in here, and I've got an HDMI. So the HDMI runs off the PiStorm, and the SCART is running out of the Amiga RGB port. So whenever I want to run any actual classic Amiga games or software now, well, mainly games I think, or demos, I will need to switch inputs. So let's say I wanted to run a demo off of this compact flash card, just to show that we can actually do that. What should I fire up? Let's fire up Alien Fish Finger. So this is going to want to run on the other screen. So as soon as I click start, see my mouse is just frozen now. This is the slight issue. It's a dual screen setup, this Caffeine, but you can't use both screens at the same time. As soon as you launch something that requires the Amiga chipset, it looks like the screen's crashed, but it hasn't. You just need to switch inputs. So for me, that's like that. So on this screen now, I have the game. This is Alien Fish Finger. Oh, it's gone easy. It'll be easier to play it like this. Yeah, so we're this little guy here. I've said this before, I'll say it again, you should really look into getting this. It's a really good little game. I think you just got to find fuel or something for your ship to take off, something like that. It took me a little while to work out what I need to do on this, but I have finished this level. Right, now I've cleared the screen. So if we want to switch back now, we can still quit out as we always used to. But now it's basically not outputting on the Amiga's input anymore now. So now I need to find the input button on my remote. It's a shame I haven't got a last input button on my remote. It'd be so much easier. Right, and now we're back. So that's how we use standard Amiga content. Okay, so this is like your Caffeine desktop. We've got a system folder here, which is, it's mostly just a standard Amiga. It looks a bit different because you're viewing it in a directory opus style lister, but it is basically just, it's the same sort of workbench, just with all the extra bits to make all this work. Right, so that's so that's your C folder. Oh, you've got your kickstarts. Kickstarts, various tools. To be honest, this you're probably not going to mess with all this. This is just like your preferences, really. Okay, so we've got the stuff folder. This is going to be the most interesting stuff in here. So in here we've got a 3D folder. Cinema 4D, Plotter 3D, Lightwave. I mean, I'm sure Lightwave would be amazing, but it'd probably take you a long time to learn how to use it. But it's there if you want to play with that, to see what they used to create 3D effects for TV with back in the day. Developer, I'm assuming this is like Amos, Blitz Basic, and the various tools. DevPack as well. I was reading up about DevPack recently in an Amiga magazine. Just system tools if you want to try and create your own software. Frac tools, this is what people used to amaze people when this first came out. You could make these weird and wonderful pictures. I'm assuming that's what it is. I'm not going into any of this. These are all the different types of player, because obviously you get used to get mods. You've got obviously MP3s and the various other players. I did look at some of these. There was one that seemed to have 6 channels. Was it this? Yeah, this is like, oh, it's only showing 4. I'm sure it showed 6 channel audio on these. I'll just load a mod so you can see it running. Hopefully this won't be using any copyrighted bits. That's a version of, I think, Never Gonna Give You Up or something. Maybe I shouldn't use that one. Is there some original music on here? What's this? Well, there you go. That might be of interest if you used to mess around with music trackers back in the day. I've tried this in the past, but I'm not musically talented. I'm not that really graphically talented, to be honest. But we've got the various other music. These are just various music software for playing different types of music formats. They put some pics in here just so you can, I guess, have different desktops. Not really anything of interest there, I don't think, to anyone. I've played around with most of these emulators and they do all seem to work pretty much. I was running Prince of Persia on Shapeshifter fine. One thing I did find quite amusing was we've got the Spectrum emulator, so we can launch this. And we'll pick a snapshot. Let's go for a demo. I noticed on the Spectrum emulator there's an Amiga demo. So here we go. So now this is the Amiga running a Spectrum emulator, running a demo, pretending to be an Amiga. And for some reason they chose the number 0 as the mouse click. So this is basically running on the Spectrum emulator. It's just a little demo that's simulating using Workbench. I don't think you get the boing boing demo, and it's just one click. But you can go into some things. But you do get this sort of thing. This is a Spectrum demo running on the Amiga. So that's the Spectrum emulator. Well, that's a Spectrum emulator running an Amiga demo. And then we've got this. I'm not too sure if Atari and ST on the Amiga do the same thing, but all I know is Atari loads really quick but then doesn't seem to function at all. But ST on the Amiga, this launches, but it seems to take an awful long time to actually get into the, is it the TOS? The TOS, I think they call it on the Atari or something like that. The workbench that's built into it. Yeah, and after a very long wait, you get this. I never had an Atari ST. I've been tempted to buy one, but I've got no nostalgia for them, so I wouldn't know what I was doing with it really. But I think this is sort of the this is like the equivalent of Workbench, I guess. Some games. Oh, there we go. Oh, we've got a benchmark. Again, wouldn't know what I'm doing with that. But we've got these. So, I don't know, let's try Buggy Boy. What am I launching? I'll try Bomb Jack, and that only has one icon. Right, buggyboy.prog. Let's try that. And there we go. I guess we're running Buggy Boy on the Atari ST. Will it work with my joypad, I wonder? Yeah, nothing there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so this, I guess we can run our Amiga as an Atari ST if we really want to. Yeah, so we've got Neo Geo. Alright, you probably already know what the Mega Drive is. Maybe when I tried it, it didn't actually launch the game. I mean, some of these emulators might need a bit of messing around with. Right, so I think we established you can use this for emulation. I was messing with Shapeshifter the other day, but unfortunately for some reason I think I must have gone into the preferences, and there's two installs on here. You've got OS 7 and you've got OS 8. OS 7 actually ran really well, but I think because I opened up the preferences, the actual Mac preferences, it must have changed something that's messed up the startup, and now it won't boot. But I will just show you OS 8 launching. This takes a bit longer. It's working, but it is quite slow, as you can see. But the OS 7 install worked fine, but it seems to, it's not in read-only mode basically, so you can mess it up. And I think I must have just, by opening the preferences and clicking on a couple of the settings, it must have saved something that's messed up the OS 7. So yeah, if you use this, don't go into the preferences, just use the software that's there. You might find it doesn't boot up anymore, which is what I have with this now, because when I try and launch this, it just hangs. And I've tried holding down shift. Oh, I've managed to turn the extensions off this time. It might actually start. Now you see, this is what happened. I was using this absolutely fine, and I just thought I'd explore the control panel to see what was in there, remind myself, and I've obviously clicked in something and it saved a preference somewhere and it doesn't like it. Now it won't boot, and the only way out is to reboot the Amiga. So that was the emulators. We've got various tools, antivirus, whether you need that now I don't know, Xcopy I guess if you want to see that, to remind yourself of what you probably, or how you probably got all your software. I noticed in the office it has got some useful software like PageStream, I think that's Perfect Paint, Final Writer. I used to do my homework on something like Final Writer, I'm sure I did. And Photogenics. This is, I think, the closest as the Amiga ever got to a proper Photoshop. I got to a point where I was actually using Photoshop at work, and I had this at home, and I really wanted Photoshop at home, and this wasn't a bad version of image editing software. Yeah, so basically there's lots of software for you to explore in here and play with. It'd be the sort of thing you used to use on your Amiga. I mean, the main things you're probably going to want to use on this are the emulators, the demos, and the games. I mean, I did notice that some of these demos are actually, it's showing them as .exe files, so I wonder if it's some sort of DOS box that they actually run on. Because these ones here should run on this screen. So these are demos. I think they might be PC demos possibly though. Unless they are just Amiga RTG ones. I mean, there's lots of demos on here. I mean, I won't go into every single one of them, but you get the idea. You've got your classic Amiga demos. So the AGA ones in here. These are going to be the ones that you're going to have to run on a second screen, or a different screen to this, or a different input. So, should we try this one? I have no idea what this is. Oh, this is a .exe, so let's see if my mouse suddenly freezes. Ah yeah, I've lost my mouse now. So, I'm going to have to switch inputs. So now we're running off the Amiga's RGB graphics port. Yeah, so there's lots of demos you can mess with. There's going to be some like high-end Amiga ones, and there's going to be some others that will run on the RTG screen. I'd just explore it and see what. If you're into demos, then there's probably something here for you. If you just want to play games, then you probably just won't be interested in that at all. But that's the demos. So if we go to the games, we've got. I think a lot of these are just ones that will run straight off. They're not WHD load, they're Workbench games. And you've got WHD load. I noticed this has got quite a nice looking iGame on here. I've installed iGame and I've used it in other pre-built versions, but this one, it's not got thousands of games on here, but it does have thumbnails for everything it's got, which is quite cool. But it does give it a bit more of a premium feel when you see it like this. So that's going to be a decent amount to go through there. And obviously then we have what a lot of people will be more interested in is the RTG games. So this is definitely beyond what your average Amiga could run. Once again, notice on this one we've got Aliens Quake. So I had to give that a try. Alright, so this is Aliens Quake, and if you listen, we've got, I think that's a motion tracker sound, and we've got that Aliens kind of music. Oh, let's go to easy. It actually runs really quickly. Oh, I haven't got a side step, or if I have, I'm not using the right keys, but. There were some alien samples in this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's Aliens Quake. And then there's just lots of other games just to explore. Although this says 060. Whether that will work, I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Nobody steals our chicks and lives.
Right, so basically there's a pre-installed collection of games, I mean, you've got some Workbench games, you've got your classic games, you've got RTG games. I'm sure you can just play through that and explore it how you want. So you've got iGame to launch all the classic ones, but just bear in mind when you do launch these, they will want to launch on the other screen. With Silkworm, we can probably get into that quicker. So it comes up with the usual options. So again, now my mouse is frozen, so I've got to swap inputs. Right, so yeah, this is just a bit of an overview really, because you might have heard of Caffeine, and you might have seen my videos of me running it and just sort of trying to install it. This is why, because it's actually quite a nice pre-built installation. Lots of software to mess with, lots of classic software to mess with. On the basic Amiga now, yeah, you're just playing games, checking out demos, looking at old software, but this lets you sort of see some of the later capabilities of the Amiga. If you've got one of these Amigas and you haven't modded it and you're thinking about doing it, or if you're wondering and you're a bit worried about messing with hardware, I mean, these things come apart so easy. There's about 5 screws on the bottom of it, and then the top case comes off, the keyboard detaches really easily. The PiStorm is pretty cheap and easy to use, just get over. I paid £20 for a Raspberry Pi and then put it in the PiStorm. It doesn't cost that much to get to this point. I mean, you're probably talking about 70 quid for the PiStorm, and if you've got a memory card and you can download it, you can have all that to mess with. It's really not that difficult to get this set up. It's a bit of messing around if you don't do the research first, because I wanted to experience it myself, so I sort of kind of fumbled my way through it. But yeah, these Amigas are pretty sturdy. I've taken this apart a number of times now, and they go back together and they just turn on just fine. You don't need to be an electrical wizard or a computer engineer to do it. I would say give it a go. If you haven't tried Caffeine, or if you haven't modded your Amiga, just give it a go. It's really not that difficult.